Hey guys, today we're going to talk about how to improve yourself.
Little disclaimer, the man's room is a mess. He hasn't showered in over 3 weeks, and I believe he just had cereal for dinner the 3rd day in a row.
But you know what? I'm totally qualified on how to tell you how to live your life.
Okay. Obviously, none of that is real. But it's crazy how for a lot of people in the self-help industry, this is actually the reality. This newfound reality is what I like to call the Reverse-Imposter syndrome. Now, I'm not claiming to be an expert on experts, which is pretty ironic, but I've been observing this phenomenon everywhere, from self-help books to social media, and even in my own behavior sometimes. So let's break this down together and see what we can learn. Let's start with the definition. Reverse imposter syndrome is when individuals with limited knowledge or experience in the field present themselves as experts. It's like me giving a TED talk on quantum physics after watching 3 YouTube videos. And spoiler alert, I'm not a quantum physicist. We see this a lot in the self-improvement world. You have finance gurus living paycheck to paycheck, fitness influencers who've worked out maybe 2 times, and relationship experts whose longest relationship was with their houseplant. Here's the scary part. Some of these people are actually starting to believe what they're saying. It's a feedback loop of likes and shares and the occasional, "Oh my god, you changed my life." Let's break down some of the common areas that we see this reverse imposter syndrome. Finance. The guru who promised to make you a millionaire but has probably made $2 at most in their dropshipping business. Fitness. The influencer who looks like they have a perfect body because of good lighting and Photoshop. Relationships. The dating coach who has probably not had a girlfriend in over 4 years. The thing is, these are not just harmless little white lies. When people start getting comfortable to present themselves as experts in fields that they know very little about, it can have serious consequences for anyone who follows the advice. So what makes people think that they can keep faking it until they fake it? First up, we've got the Dunning-Kruger effect. This is when people with limited knowledge or expertise in a specific area believe they're more competent than they actually are. Basically, they don't know enough to know how much they don't know. But it's not just about overestimating knowledge. Our brains are wired to seek status and recognition. In prehistoric times, being seen as competent can mean the difference between leading your tribe and being some saber-toothed tiger snipe. Fast forward today and that same mentality still pushes us. We seek likes, we seek followers, and especially we seek that blue coveted check mark. It's like our cave dweller brains got an Instagram update, but they forgot to patch the logic centers. And let's not forget the fake it till you make it mentality. It's a classic piece of advice that's been twisted way beyond recognition. Originally, it was about acting confident while you gain some sort of experience. But now it's become fake it until you convince everyone else that you've made it, and then you try to make it while you're making videos about making it when you haven't made it. So there are a few psychological factors at play here too. The first one being confirmation bias. Once we start believing that we're experts, we tend to go out and seek information that supports this belief. Second one being the illusion of explanatory depth. We often think we understand topics way better than we actually do. This is the main reason why people will debate on politics after reading one article or seeing one Snapchat story. And number 3, social proof. When we start seeing others treating people as an expert, we're more likely to believe they are one even without any sort of evidence. Now, understanding these physiological traps is the first step in avoiding them. Alright, let's talk about the fallout from our fake expert friends. It's not very pretty. First, we have the spread of misinformation. It's kind of like a game of telephone, but without the funny phrases, instead just information that's potentially harmful. Next, there's erosion of trust in experts. When everyone becomes an expert, it's really hard to identify who actually has the knowledge and experience to be considered one. And let's not forget that crushing disappointment when you realize that no, you cannot get a 6-pack abs by doing a 5-minute workout and eating nothing but chocolate all day. And this really creates a very dangerous cycle in the self-improvement niche. People come looking for genuine strategies to actually improve their lives. Instead, they often find a mix of oversimplified solutions, unrealistic promises, and advice from people who, at most, are one step ahead. I mean, there are long-term effects to this, and it can be pretty severe. We're talking about information overload, decreased self-esteem, a never-ending chase for the next big thing, and a dilution of what true expertise actually means. Let's jot down some specific impacts. Financial harm. Following bad financial advice can lead to real monetary losses. Health risk. Unqualified fitness or nutrition advice can lead to injuries and health problems. Wasted time and effort. Following ineffective advice means spending time on strategies that just don't work. So how do we spot these reverse imposters? Here's a few tips. Be wary of vague claims and buzzwords. If they sound like they swallow the self-help dictionary, it's probably your best bet to click off. Look for acknowledgement of limitations. Real experts know what they don't know, and they are not afraid to say it. Be very skeptical of overnight success stories. Real success always takes time. There is very few actual true stories that happen overnight. Now let's say you caught yourself playing in a field that you're just as much of an expert as a fish in a bicycle repair shop. Don't worry, there's still hope for you. Step 1 being embrace the fact that you don't know everything. It's very liberating, I promise. Focus on gaining real experience. It sounds very noble, but it's very true. Trust me, it's way more fulfilling than just pretending. Once you actually go out and gain some experience, you'll notice the true difference. Adopt a growth mindset. Instead of pretending to be an expert, embrace being a lifelong learner. Share your journey, including the stumbles and the falls. Authenticity is being considered as the new expertise. And keep in mind, there's no shame in being a student or an apprentice. In fact, it's probably the best way to become a genuine expert. Let's break down some specific strategies. Number 1, start a learning journal. Document everything that you're learning and then everything that you're struggling. Number 2, be very transparent of your expertise. It's okay to tell people I'm still learning. You don't have to go out and pretend like you're knowing everything. Number 3, focus on your unique perspective rather than claiming universal expertise. And number 4, regularly fact check yourself. Don't just spread information that you have no idea is true or not. Please do your research. Remember, it's still very okay to share what you know. In fact, that's what I'm doing. As long as you're honest and know the limits of your knowledge. Your experiences and words can be valuable even if you're not the world's leading expert. It's way better than lying it out. Okay, we can't talk about this imposter syndrome without addressing the elephant in the room. That being social media. These platforms have become breeding grounds for these self-acclaimed experts. Let's look at some common tactics used by experts on social media. Number 1, clickbait titles. The 1 secret to success that experts don't want you to know. Before and after photos. These are often very manipulated and taken under very, very different conditions. Vague inspirational quotes. Sounds very inspiring, means absolutely nothing. So after hearing all that, your heart might be a bit broken. You might not know how to feel about all these experts lying to you, but it's not all bad. Social media can be a very valuable tool for real experts and real learners. Hopefully I developed your mind to be able to become a real learner rather than a pretender. Let's take a moment to reflect on our own journeys. Is there an area where you might have been overestimating your expertise? How can you commit to actual authentic growth rather than fake growth? And hey, if you've ever fallen into the reverse imposter syndrome trap, please share your story. We're all human and we all want to listen. You've pretty much just graduated from Imposter Syndrome 101. Your diploma's in the mail, but unlike some of the experts today, I can't guarantee if it's accredited.